function. Need input.
Let's talk about batteries real quick. This is a very early battery from Leeds and Northrop. It's a standard cell battery, and this would be considered as a mercury standard cell. It was popular in the early days of batteries, had a low output, but was extremely stable over time. They're rather intolerant of any current draining, could not even be measured with an analog voltmeter, and they quickly came out of fashion, but they worked for what they were used for in the time. This one is actually out of a potentiometer, an early potentiometer. We're going to try and see at some point if we can get this to charge and output it all, but I highly doubt it. Interesting thing about this battery, though, is that it is mercury and liquid lead acid as far as I've been able to find. If anybody would like to correct me on that, that's fine. But there's not a lot of information about these. There's a connection tube in the center here, which we can actually try to uncover right now. So there's a connection tube in the center connecting the two liquids, and you can tell this is actually blown glass. There's a blown seam right there, but connecting the two liquids, and there is liquid mercury in the bottom. There's a plus side, negative side, both with a thin silver wire coming off of them. Like I said, these batteries were popular in the early days, but did not last very long. Their output was very minimal, and they were stable, but not enough output to be usable in anything else. So let's go to the next section. This is an Eveready dry cell battery, commonly used in portable devices so that the liquids did not leach out. A dry cell battery could operate up, down, left, right in any position since it was a dry cell. This is really what started the batteries we use nowadays, because being a dry cell, it's many wrapped layers, just as almost a lithium is. This older example does not hold any power. It's actually, the negative cable is actually rusted off and the positive cable is at the top here. See if we can get that real quick. You can see the positive cable up here. The negative cable would have been on the body of it, and it has actually rusted off or corroded off. Dry cells use a paste electrolyte, and there's not enough moisture, like we said, to flow the material if it's in a different position other than directly upright. So these batteries were commonly used in anything mobile. Anything on ships, anything that was to be carried, anything that could not use liquid lead acid, and they worked pretty well. The output was better. This was output of 1.5 volts, I believe. So the unit these actually came from, the potentiometer they actually came from, used both of these. Not a lot of electronic units used both of these types of batteries, but this potentiometer that we've taken apart actually did use both styles, and they worked pretty well together. So let's go on from there. Now, we're missing a lot of steps, and this isn't really meant to be a historical educational video, just a quick video, but next we have our alkaline based batteries. These are AAAs, I believe. And alkaline based batteries powered almost everything we could think of during our childhoods in the 70s, 80s, 90s, most likely the late 60s as well. And alkaline batteries were great, portable. They did corrode if they burst due to age or overcharging. There were rechargeable versions eventually developed, and they were really efficient. Expensive but efficient, and we dealt with that for many years until we came to lithium ion. These are some examples out of a quadcopter actually, but lithium ion powers everything, almost everything you use nowadays. Your cell phone, your tablet, your computer, anything you use that has a battery nowadays that is not a replaceable battery but a recharge internal unit is most likely lithium ion. You did have nickel metal hydride and other types of batteries in older cell phones and equipment such as that, but anything you're using nowadays is going to be lithium ion. The main problem we have, lithium ion is a nice high output, holds storage, has a nice shelf life and longevity, but because it has a higher output, it's more caustic or more violent if the layers of it are to be punctured or damaged. Dry cell batteries and lead acid batteries are not as violent. You may take it as an example, the lead acid battery in your car. If it is shorted, it will burn out wires and whatnot, but that'll pretty much be the end of it. Alkaline batteries used in older products can be shorted, but they will burst and leak their contents, which cause corrosion, but that's about as far as you'll get. Lithium-ion batteries, on the other hand, have much more stored energy and can be much more violent, as you've heard with things such as the Samsung Galaxy Note 7, which was actually recalled, I believe, because of batteries like that. And other cell phones, you've always seen the stories on Facebook and whatnot of cell phone batteries exploding. So, I've got these batteries here. I may have other lithium batteries in the home office here that I can find, but I want to show you what happens to lithium batteries. There's plenty of videos on YouTube, you can look them up, of what happens when the lithium battery is punctured, but I want people to understand the potential that these batteries hold even on a low charge when the layers of them are punctured. And it'll kind of bring you to a new realization of the electronic devices you carry every day are powered by something that, if ruptured or punctured in a certain way, can harm you pretty well and become a potential fire hazard. So let's take these batteries and some others that I may find sitting around the shop that may have more charge in them, and see what kind of reaction we can get out of them. Now, none of these batteries have much of a charge at all in them, if I remember, but we're going to still see if we can get a reaction out of them. We'll start with the small battery right here and see if we can get anything out of it. Obviously, from that hiss, we got a little bit of discharge out of it, and I do see some smoke from heat, but no fire. So let's grab another poking device and go at the other ones. Get some sizzle and some heat out of that one, but nothing more than that. Let's try these other ones. Now we see some smoke coming off of that. No fire. There we go. So that is the potential energy of a almost dead lithium-ion battery. Can you imagine what happens in your phone if it's charging, the battery's fully charged, and the overload circuit in your phone goes bad? That's really the danger we face nowadays with lithium-ion or higher powered batteries. The potential for energy output, if ruptured, is very high.